When I become rich, they will not clap. They will not say congratulations. They will not say you deserved it. They will squint. They will lean back. They will tilt their heads and search for something wrong with me, because that's what people do when someone rises past the level they're comfortable with. When I become rich, people will suddenly remember every mistake I've ever made. They will remember things I've already paid for, things I've already grown from, things they once ignored when I was small, quiet, and struggling. But success has a way of turning memory sharp. When I was nobody, my flaws were invisible. When I was broke, my imperfections were harmless. But when I become rich, every flaw becomes a headline. They'll say I changed. They'll say money ruined me. They'll say I'm not humble anymore. What they really mean is I'm no longer accessible. I'm no longer beneath them. I'm no longer easy to compare themselves against. When I become rich, people will watch me closer than they ever listened to me. They'll analyze how I talk, how I dress, how I spend, how I rest. They will call confidence arrogance, boundaries selfishness, privacy secrecy. They'll say, must be nice, but they won't mention the nights I was drowning in doubt. They won't mention the mornings I woke up tired of myself. They won't mention the days I kept going when quitting would have been easier and more socially acceptable. When I become rich, some people will feel exposed because my success will quietly ask them questions they don't want to answer. Why didn't I try harder? Why did I settle? Why did I stop believing? And instead of sitting with those questions, they'll aim their discomfort at me. They'll say I got lucky. They'll say I knew the right people. They'll say it was timing. Anything except admitting that I chose discomfort when they chose convenience. When I become rich, friends will turn into critics, strangers will turn into judges, and supporters will turn into spectators. People who never checked on me will suddenly have opinions on how I live. People who never invested in me will feel entitled to the results. They'll say I owe them my time, my money, my energy, and when I don't give it, they'll call me cold. But what they call cold is just me no longer bleeding for free. When I become rich, they'll say I forgot where I came from, but I didn't forget, I escaped. I remember exactly where I came from. That's why I refuse to go back. That's why I protect what I've built. That's why I don't apologize for wanting more. When I was hungry, nobody complained about my ambition. When I was desperate, nobody accused me of greed. But abundance makes people uncomfortable, because abundance highlights lack, and lack breeds envy. When I become rich, envy won't always be loud. Sometimes it will whisper. Sometimes it will smile. Sometimes it will congratulate me through clenched teeth. It will show up as backhanded compliments, as jokes that aren't really jokes, as concern that sounds suspiciously like doubt. They'll say, just don't lose yourself. Just don't think you're better than everyone. Just remember, money isn't everything. They say this not to protect me, but to protect themselves from feeling small. When I become rich, I will realize how many people were only comfortable with me as long as I was struggling, as long as I needed them, as long as I wasn't a mirror reflecting their stagnation. My growth will feel like betrayal to them.
And that's okay, because my life was never meant to be a place where others come to rest their insecurities. When I become rich, they will dissect my success as if it belongs to the public. They'll say I got here too fast, or not fast enough. They'll say I didn't do it the right way. There's always a right way when it's someone else's journey. When I become rich, they'll try to humble me. But humility was never about staying small. It was about staying grounded. And I can be grounded at the top. I can be grateful without being apologetic. I can be kind without being accessible. I can be generous without being exploited. When I become rich, some people will hope I fail. Quietly, secretly, patiently. They won't say it out loud, but they'll wait for the headline, the scandal, the downfall, because my fall would make them feel safe again. But I won't fall, not because I'm perfect, but because I've already survived worse than their opinions. When I become rich, I'll understand that being misunderstood is the price of being free, that peace costs popularity, that self-respect costs approval, that growth costs relationships. And I'll pay that price willingly, because I didn't come this far to be liked. I came this far to be aligned. When I become rich, I will let them talk, let them assume, let them judge, let them envy. Their opinions don't build my life. Their envy doesn't fund my future. Their resentment doesn't define my worth. When I become rich, I won't explain myself to people who never listened. I won't shrink to make others comfortable. I won't dim my light to preserve someone else's darkness. I will stand tall in what I earned, what I learned, and who I became. And if that makes people uncomfortable, so be it. Because when I become rich, I will finally understand this truth. Not everyone is meant to come with you, not everyone is meant to understand you, and not everyone is meant to celebrate you. Some people are only meant to witness, and that's enough.